So Emma Watson's UN speech is going viral. I just watched it. I gotta do a response to this thing. It's just atrocious.
He for she, I must say, is a solidarity movement, a partnership between women and men based on a shared commitment to fight against the persisting inequalities faced by women and girls.
A partnership between men and women to fight inequalities against women and girls. Inequalities against women and girls. Like, the irony in and of itself, you're being unequal about approaching the subject in itself because you're only going towards one demographic.
And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating.
When she says here, fighting for women's rights has become synonymous with man-hating, I thought about two interpretations. I thought, at first, maybe she was like, oh, you know, a lot of feminists are man-hating, and she was condemning them, because it's true, a lot of feminists are just basically misandrists. And then there's another interpretation, too. You could say that she meant that feminism has been looked at as man-hating, and that needs to stop. And it actually turns out that the latter is what she was saying. She clarifies that later in the speech when she basically repeats the same thing that makes it more obvious. So that's just wonderful right off the bat. Then she goes on about a bunch of anecdotal stuff and why she's a feminist because of this anecdotal information. Admittedly, she's a feminist not because of empirical facts or data or reason or evidence. She's a feminist because of the experience that she's had growing up, right? So this is so unscientific just starting out, but let's hear what she has to say.
I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not.
I love the pompous attitude when she says this, like, because I wanted to direct the play. Like, you might as well just be like, they hated me because they said I spoke loudly. Like, the irony in itself is just hilarious. But really, like, she's still mad over this. Like, I'm picturing a bunch of 8-year-olds putting on a play for their parents, and then little Emma Watson is like, guys, I want to do it. I want to be a director. And they're like, no, you're being bossy. This is what influences her to be a feminist when she's actually an adult. Like, does she think the 8-year-olds were like, no, Emma, because there's a stereotypical male leadership role, and fill that because you're a woman. See, like that's why you're a feminist, because when you're 8 years old, you want to insert yourself into being the one in charge. Admittedly, being the director, right? So basically bossing everyone around. Oh, yeah, you gotta do this. Whatever gender you are, male or female, you're gonna be called bossy if you do that, especially when you're 8 years old. So she's actually still upset. Like, this is what is influencing her. She actually brings this up to the UN speech. I mean, it's just absolutely laughable that 8-year-olds are arguing over a stupid freaking thing that they're doing for their parents. guys, I want to do it, and like that's what influences her to be feminist. Okay, let's go on.
When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly.
Yeah, they left sports because they didn't want to look muscular. Like, oh yeah, I stopped doing that diet because, I just didn't want to look too healthy. like please. That sounds more like a cop-out, like, yeah, I got a little lazy, but, just making up sort of an excuse. To say that there's this gender thing that discourages women from doing, like, I've never heard of a man condemning a woman because she's into sports, but maybe that could be kind of a social problem. But then again, the same could be applied for men, for arts, for theater, for dance, right? I mean, men aren't allowed to go into those sorts of things. So that's, if that's an actual problem, then it's just as much of a men's problem as it is a woman's. If anything, it's probably more of a men's. But doesn't matter. So she's done with her anecdotal stuff. She's become a feminist. Then she goes on.
And I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts.
Okay, first of all, Emma, you're paid way more than your male counterparts. It's just kind of funny, having this multi-million-dollar actress coming up and being like, I need to be paid more. But, she's referring to the gender gap, which has been debunked so many times. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. The feminists are the only one who can get away with this, just totally fabrication of facts. And then just spewing it out, like it's factual. And then nobody questions it. So the wage gap, I'm gonna go over it real quick. I'm just gonna play this little tiny clip of a video.
Another contemporary economic myth is that women make 75 cents for every dollar men make because they're discriminated against in labor markets. Like other myths, this does have a kernel of truth to it. So for example, if you add up all the incomes of women and divide by the number of women in the labor force, and then do the same thing for men, what you'll find is on average, women do make about 75% of what men do. Studies that have tried to control for all these factors have shown that if you take a man and a woman, same experience, same education, same job, and compare their salaries, what you find is that women make about 98% of what men do. So that gender wage gap pretty much disappears. And in some jobs, women actually make more.
And I'll put the link in the description if you want to watch the full video to that. It's like a 4-minute video or something like that. And there's you can look it up anywhere, okay? This is not just from that one video. You can look it up anywhere. This wage gap is a complete myth. It's a myth. It has no facts behind it. I mean, it's got some facts behind it, as the video explains, but it's such intellectual dishonesty, and there's just incredible fabrication. And they say for the same position, for the same, incredible dishonesty with that whole gender gap thing. And people actually believe it. Like, Emma Watson probably actually believes it. I'm not calling Emma Watson a fraud. She might actually believe that women make less than men for the same work.
I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body. I think...
That's the one that gets the applause. I think women should be able to murder their own children. That's the one that freaking gets the applause. It's not even like abortion is an issue that's circulating and it's really on the brink or anything. Like, abortion has been legal for so long. Why would you be all clapping about that one? Why wouldn't you be more clapping about the ones that are like issues, right? It's just like, that's the one that gets the applause, is the we should be able to murder our own children. Like, what the hell? How pro-abortion do you have to be? And this is what annoys me about the supposed pro-choicers. When they hear right to abort, they're like, yeah, right to abort. Oh yeah, I'm pro-choice. Whatever you want to do. Oh yeah, you're talking about feminist issues or whatever. Yeah, I should have the right to abort. Yeah, woo, yeah, kill that bitch, kill those babies. Yeah, I love women's rights, but when it comes to killing little girls, I'm all for it. All for it.
No country in the world can yet say that they have achieved gender equality.
Source, please. What do you mean there's no country that has gender equality? I mean, what does that mean, gender equality? Cite your sources. Talk about what are you talking about? Stat-wise, factual-wise, what are you talking about?
If men don't have to be aggressive in order to be accepted, women won't feel compelled to be submissive.
So men do fall into the role of being a little more aggressive and women a little more submissive, and this just makes sense from an evolution standpoint. I mean, men on average have been the stronger of the genders. They've been bigger, more muscular, etc. So of course they're going to be the protectors. If you think about the human race has lasted for 200,000 years. Throughout probably most of that time, the men have been the protectors, the ones to, guide the pack and whatever else. So, of course, that's going to be somewhat ingrained in us still. So, women are going to find dominant men attractive. Men are going to find submissive women attractive. That's going to change with evolution if there's equality with strength. And how do you have equality with strength? It's called guns, gun rights. Guns are the ultimate, or any weapons, are the ultimate equalizer, because a bullet is a bullet. Right? Doesn't matter if you're a little tiny, 4'9" skinny girl in a big, 6'5" dude packed with muscles. You both have a gun. You both have a gun. You have an equal shot at killing each other. Versus that's never been the case before throughout most of our history. It's been that the men have been the dominant ones. But now with guns, everyone can have an equal shot. Everyone, you can kill anybody can kill anybody, and that's true equality right there. And ironically, it's the feminists who are the ones that are so anti-gun. Like, if you want to establish equality among aggressiveness and submissive, if you want to establish equality, encourage gun use. Have everybody using their guns after some evolution goes by, after some social change goes by, when everyone is equally equipped to defend themselves. Then those changes are going to come about. But if you don't allow guns and you don't allow that sort of to change, that sort of equalizer to take place, then it's just going to perpetuate as men as the aggressive ones and women as the submissive ones. So it's just absolutely ridiculous.
In my nervousness for this speech, and in my moments of doubt, I've told myself firmly, if not me, who? If not now, when? I
have to play this clip again. Just reflect a little bit on what she's doing, what strategy she's implementing. Just real quick, want to play it back, just look at this.
In my nervousness for this speech, and in my moments of doubt, I've told myself firmly,
oh, I was a little nervous coming up. like this is like a politician getting up and being like, this stereotype that politicians need teleprompters is way outdated. It needs to change. People need to step up. By the way, this speech is really hard because there's no teleprompters anywhere. I'm just a little woman, I'm really nervous doing this speech. Like, I know she didn't literally say because I'm a woman, but please, if this was a man coming up, he wouldn't make that remark in that way. And everybody, right? You can tell she's using her gender as a victim mentality strategy. Like, literally, in a feminist speech, the hypocrisy is absolutely crazy. Look, here's the thing. Okay, so collectivization, men and women. Why not individualism? Just some people think this way. Some people are like, why does it have to be women and men and women and men and this collective? If you want to face big problems with collectivizing people, first of all, look at like Muslims. I mean, we collectivize. A lot of people in the U.S. collectivize like Muslims as just completely disposable. Some ISIS people, they cut people's some heads off. Let's kill all the innocent Muslims because they're just Muslims. So we collectivize like Muslims to a very dangerous extent. Versus women, we don't bomb and kill a bunch of women because one woman did something. So, but I think it's a problem of collectivizing, and the women and the men and the Muslims and can't it be that each individual is responsible for their own actions? So then that's it, and each individual lives whatever the hell life they want to live, man. Like, why does there have to be this big ass freaking victim mentality and the oppression, the collectives, and the Jesus Christ. I mean, just be individuals. Don't kill people because of their collective. Don't treat people certain ways because of their collective. Just be a freaking normal person with freaking Do you like my case here? I'm making a very elegant UN. This is my UN speech. Anyway. Thanks a lot for watching my video. I'll put the UN speech obviously in the description. I'll put that Lauren Liberty video in there as well. Thanks a lot. Subscribe. Leave your opinions in the comments. All that good stuff.